What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel if you didn't know. So today's video is going to be all about becoming a lash tech. So I'm going to give you guys 3 tips, basically 3 pointers, 3 things that you should know before jumping into the whole lashing world, wanting to get certified and all that, because there are definitely some things you should know beforehand and that you actually need to consider if this is the right thing for you. So you have to make sure that these things are talked about and you really take the time to understand them before you jump into getting certified. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is time. Time is so important when it comes to lashing, and before you actually get into the industry or get into the idea of becoming a lash artist, you need to understand that it takes so much time to actually create a business, create a schedule for yourself, and a lot of times it's a part-time thing, which is totally fine, but you do have to make sure that you have enough time where you can come home from a from your full-time job or your part-time job and have enough time to actually put in the work to maintain or even just build a lash brand, because that's essentially what it is. You have to be able to build this brand. Now that doesn't mean it's any type of discouraging statement where you have to have time or else you're not going to be able to do it. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if you really love something and you really want something to work, you will find the time to make it work. I know when I started doing lashes, I was so unaware of how long it actually takes to do lashes, and that is one of the biggest things too. Not only are you putting in time to create this brand, create content, market yourself, you actually have to make enough time to have clients and do these sets that take a lot of time, right? Like when you start off, you're probably gonna have some 5-hour clients, sometimes 6 hours, it happens. But these are just things you have to be prepared for and understand that it's a part of the process. It's a part of growing. And I find being a lash artist didn't just help me grow as a lash artist, it helped me grow as a person, dealing with certain issues, dealing with customer service, anything like that. Like, and especially the variety of people you get, you actually figure out how you need to adjust and how you can maintain that professionalism while adjusting to people's character, adjusting to people's mannerisms, things like that. You learn so much being a lash artist, but these are just like some things you have to consider before getting into it and spending the money. Okay, my second question, I guess, or thought that you need to consider is this something that you're in for the long term, or is it something that you just want to have on the side? Now, both ways work. It's not like if you're in it for the long run, you should do it, and if you're in it for a short term, you shouldn't do it. That is not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is that you have to set goals for yourself and then have a realistic plan as to where you want to end up and what things you have to do in between that time to make it work for you. So for example, I know when I started doing lashes, I was completely blindsided. I definitely did not think that this was going to be a long-term thing or even a full-time thing at all. It was definitely something I would just want to do on the side. It was something that I don't even know how I picked it up and said I wanted to do this. I honestly just I think I just decided one day, and luckily, like, knock on some wood or something, like, it was great that it worked out for me. But I hear a lot of times people don't realize what it takes to be a lash artist and how hard it is and the things you have to go through, and they give up because they're looking for like a short-term solution or just to make a quick buck on the side, which is fine. You can make some great side money doing lashes, but it's just the fact that you have to put a lot into it to actually get the, like, reap the rewards of it, right? Like, reap the benefits. Like, you definitely have to. It's one of those things where you absolutely get what you put in, and it's not something that happens immediately. It's something that happens over time. So you have to figure out if your plan, your short-term plan or your long-term plan includes lashes, and where that fits in. Because once you make this commitment to actually do lashes, you now have a business that has clients coming in and out, and now you are responsible to make sure those clients get the service that they ask for. Because what happens is, if you're busy hanging out with your friends, or you're busy doing this or that, or it just doesn't fit into your life anymore, those people that depend on you are without a lash artist and now are at someone else's doorstep because you can accommodate, which is totally fine. Like, no, it's not for everyone's lifestyle, but you just have to make sure you can think about these things before you actually put your foot into it. The other thing is, well, my last thing, and this one was one of the most shocking things for me because I had no idea, again, going into lashing, that it was like this. But lashing demands patience. You have to be patient and you have to commit, like I said. But that being said, that doesn't mean you have to be a patient person to do lashes, because I am not a patient person. I think lashes actually taught me how to be patient, and I grew into patience doing lashes because I was already in it, and because I was kind of just dropped in the middle of it. I didn't know what to do, where to go, and it just kind of like my path kind of just flowed, and it was great, and I'm super grateful for that. But these are for people who are considering these things and actually want to know if it's the right choice for them or not. So patience is so important when doing lashes. Patience in the sense that you have to be patient, because learning the skill doesn't come naturally to everybody. It didn't come naturally to me. It was something that I had to work on, and I had to be patient because I had to grow. I had to practice so much. I had to practice on models. I had to practice on mannequin heads. I had to do so much free work just to be able to grow, and that was a part of the commitment that I committed to growing by doing free things. And I know a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people come back and say they didn't want to do free work, which I get. Like, that's fine, you're putting your time, your supplies, everything into it, but I think it's just a matter, it boils down to being passionate about it, and it doesn't have to mean you have to be passionate about lashes, because going into it, you don't know anything about lashes. But I think it's just having that passion to succeed at it, and it's totally fine if you dip your toes in it and it's not for you. But if you have that idea that it could be and you just don't want to ride the wave, you definitely have to give it your all to actually understand if it is or isn't for you. Because the thing is I definitely gave up after that first year, and I just couldn't take it. I was like, it's taking me forever to do a set. I can't get clients. I can't do the lashes I want to do. And I took a year off, and then when I came back, I was so determined. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, I'm gonna get this. Like, I'm gonna do it the way that I want to do it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna make it work. And I mean, it worked. And I think at the end of the day, it doesn't come down to how much skill you have or how good you are at it. I think it's just how driven you are and how determined you are to be good at it. Like, it was just a matter of how much did you really want to succeed in it. So I think that you need to understand that lashing isn't something that just comes. It's something that you grow into, and it's something that you can master. You just need the patience to master it. And some people it comes faster, some people it takes a little bit of time. I think it definitely took time for me, but some people I see that they've been doing lashes for a couple months and like they look amazing, and that's amazing, and that can happen to so many people. It's just you have to definitely give it enough effort to get you to that point. So another thing too with patience is you have to be patient about getting clients, because if you're not patient and you think you're gonna have a lineup of clients outside your door, that is so not gonna happen. Unless you are like Kylie Jenner, you are not gonna get a lineup of clients. It's not gonna happen, because at this point you're no one to the world and to the lashing world, really. Like, you need to go ahead and make a name for yourself, and this takes time for you. And again, like I said, it all boils down to how much you put into it is how much you'll get back from it. So if you're putting enough work and effort and love and passion into it, and you're super determined and you're like, I'm gonna make this work, it becomes like your baby, then yes, you're gonna get the clients coming back to you. And that's not saying that it has to be a full-time thing for you to get that reward. You can totally do it part-time. I did it part-time. It was something that I gradually grew, actually. I gradually grew, and I would gradually amp up how much time that I was actually spending on Envy, and that included marketing stuff as well as how much time I was actually spending doing clients. So I went from doing it completely part-time in the evenings and weekends, and then to getting a part-time job where I would finish at 1 o'clock and I would do lashes for the rest of the day, and then obviously to being able to do it full-time. But it takes time, and that's a process of like 3 years before I could even get to that point. Actually, I don't even, like 4 years, something like that. But it definitely took time before I could actually get to the point of being able to do this full-time. And again, that wasn't my long-term goal. It just so happened to come out like that, and it just so happened my life shifted into that direction, which I'm again super grateful for. But it's just these little things that you have to consider before jumping head first into this lashing industry. It is thriving 100%. It is definitely like a new way of beauty and all that, and it's great, and it's so great to see how many people are actually interested in doing lashes. But you want to make sure you're getting into it for the right reasons. You do not want to say, hey, like, this lash artist is doing amazing and she's been doing lashes for 5 years and she's like running around with her designer and her cars and whatever, because I want that life, I'm gonna start doing lashes. That is just not the way that this works. And I think like you hear this a lot, but it's 100% the flat out truth. It just doesn't work like that. Like you need to definitely give your all into something to reap the rewards of it. And being a patient lash artist and not having these expectations where you're gonna be making this amount of money to buy this and live this life with lashes, it's just unrealistic. You need to make sure that you have a long-term and a short-term goal, and then do everything you can to make all that work. And that includes your part-time job or your full-time job along with your lashes, because at the end of the day, like when I was working a full-time job, I had to make sure I was lashing until like 9-10 o'clock at night, because and then I'd have to get up and go to my full-time job in the morning. It's just, you gotta figure out what you prioritize and what you're willing to sacrifice to make it work. And it all comes down to how much you want it to work, which is a direct response to how much you're gonna sacrifice. I hope that makes sense. Okay, that is enough of me ranting. I hope that this is super helpful for people who are trying to figure out if lashes are for them, if being a lash artist is for them. I would love to see so many lash artists out there. There are so many lash artists out there, but it's so cool to see how many people are interested in it. And I don't want this video to come across as some of a way of discouraging people to be lash artists, because that's not what I'm doing here. I really just want people to understand what they're getting themselves into before they go ahead and drop a ton of money on certification and lights and beds and products and all that stuff, because I see so many people on Instagram and on Facebook and stuff that say, hey, I gave up, I need to sell all this, who wants to buy it? And you don't want to be in that situation. So if you ever have questions, like definitely hit me up, hit up somebody you know who does lashes. Like just try to get the most out of it before you jump into it. I hope that this was helpful, and if you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with something new next time. Bye!